with stories told. Let your journey now begin. In the magic, let's dive in.
So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the terror's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place.
In the tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Lunar affinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our spirits send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend.
Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Hopefully, you guys are having a good night. I know it's late. I had a lot to get done today, so there was a chance I wasn't going to come on, but I was like, no, let me go ahead and sign in because this week is going to be all over the place. I have a funeral to go to Saturday, and on Sunday is my birthday, so I really don't know how often I'm going to be in this week, so I just was like, let me go ahead and just sign on. What is today? almost Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to say you guys will see me at least 2 more times before next week. I'll do my best to be here as much as I can. Yeah, busy schedule. Please make sure you're liking the live stream if you haven't already. I definitely have more yes no questions being dropped in the chat than I have likes on the live. So please make sure you guys are doing that. Yeah, but Amy, it's going to be busy this week. So I'm just going to be here. It's just going to be like impromptu. Like whenever I have the time, I'm going to be signing in. Even if it's the middle of the night, I'm going to just do what I can when I can. It might be early in the day. It might be like a 2 p.m. I'm not really sure like how it's going to go. But just whenever I'm available, I'll be here. I just don't know how often it's going to be. All right, let's get started. Sophie, no, the Hanged Man. Gemini, I think so. I'm getting a yes. 3 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles. That's very third-party energy. So this might be with friends around. It might be at a public place with other people around, something like that. I don't know if it'll be one-on-one. But you might go out and see them out or something. Aw, Amy, I forgot that he liked trains. I'm getting a yes, Temperance. Teresa Horton, I do not answer third-party questions about finances, legal matters, or health or medical questions. So please make sure you rephrase. I will not be answering that question. Hey, James, welcome in. Oh, that's fun, Amy. I'm happy to hear that. That's awesome. You're welcome, Gemini. You're welcome, Amy. Yes, I forgot about that, actually. Please make sure if you're dropping a yes, no question in the chat, you're liking the live stream. I have a no for Del Carmen. Don't trust it, Shavana. I have the 7 of Swords and the 8 of Wands. I think that this is not a good match for you. There's something to do with betrayal here, just like the first time. But I think that she could be possibly trying to set you up, yes. Thanks, Amy. Have a good night. Sonali, I think this person has beginning stage feelings for you. Page of Pentacles. Nothing is super deep or invested right now. Yes, the star for Sienna. Bria, yes, 7 of Wands in the sun. Chibi. I have a no for Chibi the moon. Jupiter, what question am I answering for you? Are you just posting your questions? Oh, Jupiter, are you posting your questions for your donated readings? Is that what these questions are? What's going on here? I need you to post, Jupiter, for your donated readings. I need you to post 4 separate questions. Number them for me, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't like. Okay. Do me a favor and label them, Jupiter. So say like free yes, no, and then tell me what your question is. And then do like 1, 2, 3, 4 for your 4 questions. I just need to understand what I'm doing here. We'll get back to you in a second, okay? No, you can send them here. The questions that I have from you are multi-layered already. So I'm like, I don't know how to separate this out. So for example, is your Islam helping you reach your goals? That's one question. What your Muslim brothers at the mosque think of you? That's a second question. Also, thank you. I appreciate that. And then you posted, will Euros invite me to Serbia to train? Is another question. How will I perform is another question. What can I expect is another question. So you have to like just separate it out. I can't do like 3 questions in one per donation. Just make sure that you're separating them, letting me know what your questions are. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. And also let me know which one is your yes, no question. So put like yes, no, and then your yes, no question. James, let's see what I have here for you. That's your yes, no? Okay, that's fine. I'll be with you in just a second. Got it. Is Islam helping you reach your goals? Is your yes, no? Okay. James, I have the 3 of Pentacles, which is like the friendship card. It is a yes, but I don't know if it's upset in the way of like jealousy and romance, if that makes sense. Like maybe just the idea of you being close to someone else might have upset her. Maybe like not being able to interact with you in the same way or something, but it's more like 3 of Pentacles is very like acquaintance vibes. So yeah. Self. Yes, King of Pentacles. Teresa. No, 3 of Swords. Abria. I think so. I have the sun for Bria. That's a yes for me. AM. Yes, King of Cups. White chick. Yes, King of Cups. Jupiter's yes, no question. Yes, 10 of Cups for Jupiter. Did I do Dorella? Hold on. Let me do Dorella real quick. You're welcome, self. All right, let's do Dorella real quick, and then I'm going to move on to donations. All right, guys. Dorella, I'm getting a yes, Page of Wands. Okay. So let's see. You're welcome. All right, Jupiter. So you're going to be next. I'm going to work on your readings that you paid for. So just to confirm for your 4 questions, the first one is, how will Serbia trip go if Euros invites you to fight or fight camp? The second question is, how can you become a better fighter and get in the UFC? The third question is, what can you expect in your future if you stay on the path that you chose? And the fourth question is, do you have to stop doing tarot and focus on your path with full faith? Okay. Well, let's take a look here. That is it for the free list, everyone. Donations are open. Got it, Jupiter. Thank you for organizing that for me. Okay, so first question. How will Serbia trip go if Euros invites you to fight camp? Oh, no, you're good. How will Serbia trip go if Euros invites you for fight camp? How will this go? You're gonna have the choice to stay longer than a month, Jupiter. I have a yes magician card here. So, and magician is the number 1. So I think you'll stay longer just because you want to, or you wouldn't mind doing that. And the magician talks about how this is in your power. Like, you get to choose, you get to decide if you're going to stay longer or not. So I am getting a yes for you there. I think that this will help build up your self-esteem, help build up your confidence. I have the Empress here and the King of Pentacles. So I feel like you'll have a lot of like, what is the word? It's something like adjacent to confidence. But basically the Empress means that you feel able, you feel capable, you feel like you have, gained a lot of power. Maybe power is a good word, especially with the magician here. I feel like you walk away from this saying, I absolutely am grateful and happy that I had that experience. And if I could go back, I would do it again. Like, no regrets. I feel like this is a very important experience for you, especially with the Empress and the King of Pentacles. And I feel like it makes you feel, oh, secure. That's the word I was looking for. Because I was like confident, but like not confident, secure in yourself and what you're doing. It just brings about this like security and stability for you. And I think that you would say that was like one of the best things I could have done for my path. That was one of the best things I could have done for myself to have this experience. And so you just walk away feeling very grateful, very appreciative for this, and you feel like there's knowledge that you acquire here and skill that you feel you wouldn't have gotten anywhere else. So I feel like just in general it goes really well for you. It kind of like levels you up a little bit, if that makes sense. Um, so you feel almost like in a video game when you level up, you know, like your who you are, who you become just elevates a bit more. And like walking away, going from the Eight of Swords where you're feeling like a little unsure to the Nine of Pentacles, making you feel more independent. So I think right now what happens, Jupiter, is you rely a lot on what the um what your peers say, what your coaches says, your trainers, etc. I feel like you rely a lot on their input, but I feel almost like through this camp, through this experience, you feel like, okay, I can kind of rely on my own instincts a little bit more. I feel like I don't know, like I feel like you feel like you can kind of get your rhythm down and feel like you're making the right decisions for yourself. And, you know, of course, there's always opportunity to learn. And I do remember saying that it's important that you remain a student at all times because there's always going to be something for you to learn, but your own instincts are going to kick in a little bit more because you're feeling better about the situation. All right, how can you become a better fighter and get in the UFC? Oh, they train combat incredibly. That's why you must go to another country. Yeah, that'll be good. And then, like, also, Jupiter, it's going to give you an edge. I guess that's what I meant by leveling up, is that it's going to give you an edge that other people won't have. So, for instance, you might learn things there that the people that you end up fighting don't have the knowledge or skill for, if that makes sense. So it kind of gives you a leg up. It gives you an edge. It gives you something that maybe other people won't know to anticipate or, you know, whatnot. But the thing about the language barrier is while that may be difficult for you initially in the beginning, we live in a great time in the world where we have technology that can help us to understand other people more than we ever were able to. So there's translators, there's, you know, technology, there's your phone can translate for you. You can even hire a translator as well. So when you're being trained, you can get like real-time information from your trainers that will help you understand. And then also in the meantime, you can try to learn the language a little bit more. Look up common phrases and common things that are said to help you understand, especially with what you're doing. And then the other thing is that a lot of the training, it's physical, you know what I mean? It's not verbal. So I think that you're going to pick up pretty quickly on like what needs to be done. And if you don't fully understand it, you can always find different ways to translate. I feel like Jupiter, it's really important to trust your instincts, trust your intuition. I feel that when it comes to fighting, it's all about anticipation. It's about instinct. It's about intuition. It's about kind of picking up if you can figure out what the next move of the person is going to be. The High Priestess talks a lot about using your intuition and your inner knowledge and to help you kind of be a better fighter, if that makes sense. I think that you should. I'm trying to understand this. I have the Two of Cups, and then next to it's the Two of Swords. So I think Jupiter, for now, when it comes to romantic relationships, you'll have to know that those are going to be kind of on the back burner for now. You have to allow for the UFC to be your main focus. Unfortunately, romantic relationships, family, friends, all of that stuff is going to have to be on the back burner. Oh, wait, you already said that. That's so funny. You said I have to go there and truly understand the game without any distractions or confusion. Yes, exactly. That's so funny. That's literally what I was saying. Like, we don't want any kind of distractions. Like, being a better fighter means that this is what your focus has to be on right now. And that's okay, right? Because you're still very young, I believe you said. So there's going to be a time and place for that later on. But I also have to throw out there, Jupiter, that being in a relationship, even if you were already in one, let's just say you already had a relationship and this person was like, I'm going to be there for you through this whole process. I understand that, you have to put me on the back burner for now and focus on your skill set. I think it would be hard for your partner to witness you in fights. So that's another reason why it's important that you just don't even engage in romantic relationships right now, because you currently don't have any strings attached. But trying to meet someone while doing this is not only a distraction, but it would be very hard for your partner to watch you or witness you going through this training. It would probably be very hard on them. So I just think it's good to just like keep it at bay. Just keeping all of your focus on the task at hand is what's going to be important. Is there anything else that will help him be a better fighter? I think that the last thing is just working on your mental health, Jupiter, working on how you think about yourself, how you like what you think of yourself, what you say about yourself. Like, for instance, earlier, while it was a joke and it was a little self-deprecating because you had said that you want me to break it down for you because you're a bit slow or something like that. And I know that that was a joke, obviously, but don't talk about yourself like that. Making sure that any kind of mental blocks that you have, you're trying to work through. And there's tangible ways to do that. You can do this through affirmations. You can listen to very positive, uplifting podcasts. You can do meditation. You can do prayer. Just trying to work on these things about yourself, like focusing on like your mental place, because what you want to be able to do is check out mentally when you're fighting, when you eat, whether it's practice or whether it's the real thing. You want to be able to compartmentalize any feelings or thoughts that are negative. You want to be able to focus on the task at hand, and focusing on your mental health and strengthening that is going to be really important. All right, let's see. What can you expect of your future if you stay on this path that you choose? Yeah, I mean, and frustration is expected in that, and that makes sense. I just think it's important that you talk positively about yourself. You think positively about yourself. There's a word here called judgment, and it means rebirth. It means rising up like the phoenix. It means absolution. It means appreciating everything that you have been through up until a certain point, because if you hadn't gone through everything that you went through, you wouldn't be where you are in the future. And so where are you going to be? You're going to be in a place of reflection in the future. You're going to be in a place of gratitude. You're going to be in a place of forgiving wrongdoings that have been done to you. You're going to be in a place of rising up from the ashes, being in a place where you feel content, you feel satisfied, pleased, happy. There's kind of like this point where it all kind of comes first full circle, and you think to yourself like, wow, I really did it. Wow, I really made it. Wow, everything I've been through was leading me up until this point, and I had to go through what I went through to be here. And it's just that feeling of success and feeling of completion and feeling just happy overall, feeling positive, feeling accomplished. I asked if UFC is a guarantee for you. I pulled the 6 of Wands. That is a yes for me. That indicates recognition, public fame, success, victory, having the advantage. So that's a yes for me for that question. No, I think the UFC is a really big possibility for you. Like, I mean, I feel like as much as I don't make guarantees in tarot, but as much as I can confidently say, yes. 6 of Wands is champion energy. 6 of Wands is public recognition, public fame, success, winning, achievement, triumph, praise, awards, like having the support of the crowd, being in the spotlight. So that's definitely champion level energy for sure. All right. Does he have to stop doing tarot and focus on the path with full faith? They're saying you're not going to have time for tarot. That's so funny. They're like, he's not going to have time for it. Like, he's going to get to a point where he's just busy and he's not even going to be able to do tarot. Like, you might have some free time every once in a while, but they're saying, like, he's going to be too busy. You're going to be so, like, in the thick of it that tarot's not even going to be a thing. So don't worry about stopping tarot or not stopping tarot. It's just going to naturally happen. You're going to get to a point where you're just too busy and too consumed with life and other things that you're not even going to really feel the need. And as you're growing, as you're evolving, as your personal self-esteem is expanding and your confidence is engaged, you're going to remember when I said you're going to be focusing, you shift, you stop worrying about what, like, other people are saying to you and you start focusing on your own intuition and your own instincts, that is probably about when tarot isn't going to be like a pivotal thing for you. So you can stop doing tarot if you want, or you can just wait until life gets busier, but there's going to be a natural end to tarot, at least for a little while for you. Is it healthier mentally for you? I don't know. If you feel like you are getting, nuggets of wisdom out of it and you feel like it's encouraging you for the time being until things really get started for you, there's nothing wrong with that. But I would never say you should be over reliant on tarot anyways. I am a tarot reader and I don't ever do tarot for myself. Like, if that explains anything, I'm very confident just in my own intuition. If I have a question that I normally would reach for cards for, I just ask myself the question and it's answered for me. So I feel like I don't do tarot. Like, I can't even tell you the last time I've gotten a reading or done a reading for myself. So you'll get to that point. You'll get to that point. I think, yes, I think you need to trust the process, Jupiter. I think stay connected to your religion, stay connected to what feels powerful and big for you, what gives you that faith that you feel a strong connection to. I think, like I said, like you said, trust the process. I think Serbia is going to give you the option. Yes, I think Serbia is going to give you the option to move forward and be there for longer than a month. Now, when is that offer going to happen? I'm not sure. It could be halfway through your stay. It could be towards the end of your stay. But I feel like you're going to show a lot of improvement while you're there, that you're going to end up deciding or having the power to choose if you're going to stay longer, because the Magician talks about free will. It talks about you holding and possessing the choice and the power in those decisions. So with the Magician, it makes me feel like you might be presented an opportunity that you get to choose. Am I going to stay a little longer, or am I going to just go back home for now? I think you'll stay longer than a month. That's the personal intuition that I feel for you. But what I'll say, Jupiter, is you can always do tarot. Just to finish and round out your last question, you can always do tarot. But you're going to get to a point where, hey, Kaiser, thank you so much. You're going to get to a point where you're going to like just not have time for it anymore. And you're going to eventually it'll fade out for you. So you don't have to choose. If you want to keep getting readings from people, you can. As long as you feel personally that you're not overly reliant on it and that you're not paralyzed in your own decisions and your own free will, I think that it's fine. But if you feel like you're having a hard time making decisions for yourself without getting a reading, then I think that's when it would be a good idea to take a step back. But tarot overall, if it's providing, clarity, positivity to your life, you feel like it's contributing to your mental health, you feel like it's giving you guidance, I think all those reasons are why it's good to get tarot readings. And I think eventually you'll just move forward in your profession, you'll move forward in your faith. And I think that you'll start to feel more like well-rounded, if that makes sense. So Jupiter, I hope that that helps. I hope that you felt you got, the clarity that you needed from these readings. I feel that you're divinely blessed and supported to follow this dream of yours. I feel like we don't have desire on our heart and dreams in our heart if we're not meant to fulfill them. So as long as you feel inspired, as long as you feel passionate, as long as you feel it's your calling, I think there's a reason for that. I think there's a purpose for that. And I think you should just keep going with it. Okay. All right. Thank you, Kaiser. So I'm just going to take a quick break. BRB. And then, Kaiser, whenever you're ready, you can get those questions prepped. Hey, Kaiser. All right, let's shuffle for you real quick. See what we got going on. She fell for Kaiser. Kaiser, you're dealing with a fickle woman. I don't know if I've said this to you before or not, but you're dealing with a very fickle person. Erica, how do I put this? If I say it this way, it's going to confuse you because you're going to be like, well, then why doesn't she want to be with me? But I'm going to tell you, she looks at you as like the perfect partner, the perfect boyfriend, the perfect like relationship to be in. She feels very much appreciated and admired by you. She feels like you invest in her and that you put in effort when it comes to her. And she looks at you as like a very stable person in her life, very, kind of like a rock, someone that she could lean on. Um, like you just provide this like ever present support, and she feels like you kind of bypass her flaws, and she's not perfect, but at the same time you don't need her to be. And I feel like she thinks to herself like, wow, Kaiser's like the perfect person for me to be with, the perfect person for me to be in a relationship with. um so when you ask what she thinks and feels for you, that's what she says. That's what she feels. That's what she thinks. She thinks to herself. And because of that, because she thinks and feels those things, you're thinking, well, then what the hell is the holdup? What's going on here? I think the main thing is, Kaiser, is that she's not really wanting a relationship. So she's like, he's perfect if I wanted a relationship. He's perfect if that was what I was looking for. As far as why did she say no to your offer going to the baseball game? I specifically asked, is it something that he said or did? And I got a no, Knight of Swords. And I said, does she have other plans? And I got the Magician. So in a sense, she had other plans. I don't think she actually had plans. Let me be honest with you. I think that she just had something else she would have wanted to do. I think being social is not always easy for her, and I think that might be surprising to some. Bodhi, don't scratch that. I think that might be surprising to some. Maybe she is like an extroverted introvert. I don't really know her personality per se, but I feel like socializing kind of like drains her. Even if she's good at socializing, it drains her. So with the Magician, that's like me energy. What do I want to do? What do I want to have? What do I want to do? What's going on? So it felt like it was nothing that you said or did, but she just had something else more ideal in mind for her for during that time. So this could literally have been no actual plans. It could have just been couch rot. Like maybe she just wanted to stay home and relax and take it easy. Maybe she had errands to do that she was like, I just don't want this to keep getting pushed back. Maybe she had some self-care stuff she wanted to get done. Or maybe she actually did have plans. But it was nothing that you did. It was nothing that you said. Especially with the Knight of Swords being a no card for me. I said, well, what was going on? Did she have other plans, the Magician? So it was more like what she wanted to do, what she had in mind, what her plans were. So I wouldn't take it personally. I would be a little gun shy if I were you to really put myself out there again. Like, you can only handle so much rejection, especially if like what you're looking for with her is something more. You want to court her, you want to date her, you want to potentially end up in a relationship with her. I would be gun shy if I were you, but that doesn't mean that you can't try again. Um, it just means that I think you guys are in two different headspaces, to be honest. That's what she truly wants out of the connection. And I have the Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. So, I think she really likes the effort you put in with her. That's a little selfish if you ask me, because it's like she likes your attention, but it doesn't feel equal. I have the Three of Pentacles, and it's like I kind of just want to be social with him right now. I want to talk. I still want to be in communication. I still want to be friendly and friends and whatever. But it almost feels like I don't know what the girl version of it is, but it almost feels like the girl version of a fuck boy, if that makes sense. Like it feels like this is a connection of convenience for her right now. It's like when I want to, then I will. And when I don't want to, then I won't. And I feel like you deserve more effort from someone. I also have the Nine of Wands here as far as what she wants out of the connection, or like what the energy is that she's putting towards it. And it's very, very guarded. So there's not a lot of movement here. There's not a lot of flexibility. She's not super malleable in terms of what she wants and what she's looking for. It's like she wants what she wants when she wants it. I'm not saying she's a bad person, but I'm saying that her focus and her priority is herself. And if your focus and priority is her, then both of you are focusing on her and no one's focusing on you. And that will drain your battery faster than anything else could ever. So maybe if you want to dial it back, pull back, you can give it another shot if you want to. But I think that unless and until you start seeing that mutual effort from her, or she starts shifting and changing her mental space when it comes to, does she now want a relationship? I think she'll chase you down. I think she will. I think if she goes, you know what, having a companion, being in a relationship actually doesn't sound so bad, I think she'll be knocking at your door because she thinks so highly of you. I just feel like unless and until she gets to that point, you might be stuck in this cycle of unequal effort and lots of giving and not as much receiving, if that makes sense. And that's just not fair. That's just not fair. So I don't know. I don't know. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What do you think you're gonna maybe try to invite her again? And then if she's like, no, then you just drop it. Like, I mean, I guess it would be worth a shot. But like I said, if it were me, I'd feel gun shy. I'd feel like, here I am trying. And if that's not what you want, and I wish people would just be more direct too at the same time. Like I wish people would just say what they think, say what they feel. The problem is a lot of times people don't say what they think or feel, not out of fear, but because they don't know. Because people are afraid to really get to know themselves and dig deep and figure out what it is that they want. And I think that's really what it comes down to. I don't necessarily think people are shy of expressing their opinion if they know what it is. But I think if people can't really put their finger on what they want or what they're looking for, and they're afraid to really look within themselves to figure that out, you're just going to deal with a lot of indecisive people, people that are giving mixed signals, people that are confusing. And I think we deal with a lot of that these days. Yes, it does make sense. I don't think I want to because I've been rejected and trying so much. I know. Yeah. Well, take some time, Kaiser. It's not like you have to make a decision right this second either. Do I know she's a promiscuous woman? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, again, that's not the question I asked, but if you're wanting to know intuitively, I don't think she is. I think that she just is more focused on herself right now. I think, to be honest, Kaiser, I think if she was a promiscuous woman, just not from tarot, not from intuition, not from channeling, nothing, just being a woman, I think if she was a promiscuous woman, she would be taking you up on everything you're offering her. She would, if you invited her somewhere, she would go. If you asked her on a date, she would go. She would. Now, you might not be the only one. If she was a promiscuous woman, she might be taking these offers from multiple people. But if that was her MO, she would be taking advantage wherever she could. That, I don't think that that is what's happening here. It's okay. I understood what you were asking. So, yeah. But hopefully that provided some clarity for you. I may not be what you what you want to hear. I'm sorry about that. But I just don't want to lead you astray. I don't like telling people if I'm not seeing something, like, I think the confusing part is of it all, um is that she really thinks highly of you, and I think you feel that, and I think you sense that, but you also feel like this block, or this wall. So, would I recommend that you wait on someone real? I think so. That's what I would do. If you were a friend of mine and you were like, you looking for advice, I would. I don't think that you should waste your time. I don't think anybody should waste their time on someone that's not putting in the same efforts. Trust and believe me when I say that I had a relationship that started at 14. It was a high school sweetheart, and he did a lot of things wrong in the relationship, but he worshiped me. He worshiped the ground I walked on. And I guess I needed a reality check from that, because every single relationship after that was extremely humbling and was just like slap in the face, slap in the face, slap in the face. And I wasted a lot of time on people. And I think that almost like maybe my ego needed to be broken down or something. I don't know. I'm not saying this is your situation. This is just my personal experience. But I wasted a lot of time on people that I shouldn't have, because I was giving, 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 and getting nothing in return, and spending months or years or whatever pining for people that was never going to give to me the way that I wanted. And yes, it humbled me, but it also got me to a place as a person where any effort that I received in response, I was grateful for, I was appreciative of, I didn't take for granted anymore. And then I met my now partner, who we are married, and we've been together for, in November will be 10 years. And it was like instantly I felt the effort from him. Instantly he cared. Instantly he went out of his way to make my life easier. Instantly I felt like whatever I was putting into it, I was getting back. You know, down to just the conversation. He added value. He showed up, he kept his word, he responded to every single thing that I was saying. You get what I mean? Like, and then I thought to myself, oh my god, it's this easy. It's this easy. And I wasted, what, 7 years of my life, or however long it was, like chasing people that were never going to give me what I needed from them. And it was this easy. And I think that's why I do tarot, especially specializing in love and relationships, because I'm like, trust me when I say, when someone is into you and you're into them and it just clicks and you guys are just as into each other as the other person, it's like, why did I waste all of that time? And I'm not saying that that's not going to happen with Erica, but I'm saying, like, if you can, if I could put you in my shoes and have you just kind of scroll through my life and just feel everything I went through, and then now being in the relationship that I'm in now, and you could walk away with that feeling, you would be like, I'm never wasting time on anyone ever again. Because when it's right, it's right. It's not going to be confusing. You're not going to question it. You're just going to know. And Maybe that will be with Erica one day, but she has to catch up to you, you know? She has to get to the point that you're at now. And unless and until she gets to that point, you might as well just save your breath, save your time, and just try to see if there's anything else out there. And I'm not saying just to bide your time until Erica is ready. I'm just saying to reshift your focus onto what you actually deserve and see what comes through for you then when you raise your expectations, when you don't settle, you know? So, yeah, that's what I've got for you, friend. That's my little TED talk. Do with that information what you will. Yeah. But at the same time, Kaiser, sometimes you just have to get people out of your system. And if you say, you know what, I'm going to take a break from this for a little while, and a week from now, you're like, no, I kind of want to give it another shot, that's fine. Because I think at the same time, you have to let nature run its course. If you have feelings for someone, you have to really be ready to move on from them. You can't rush that process, or you're actually going to prolong it in the end. It's going to work against you because you tried to quit cold turkey. So, if you have to be rejected one more time, or if you have to like go through this cycle again just to like get to a point where you're like, nah, I'm done, then that's what you have to do. I don't think you should rush that process either. If you still are thinking about this person and still wanting to be with them, I'm not saying that the results are going to be different. I'm not saying the outcome is going to change, but I am saying that I understand too feeling a certain way and then changing your mind. And there's no shame in that either, because you have to go through like your own process as well. Yeah. It's like she knows. It's like she knows that you're moving on. All right, Kaiser. Well, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the night. Looks like I'm all caught up on my donations for the evening. I'll be back a couple more times this week, so maybe I'll see you again. Yeah, definitely. Have a great night. Oh, of course. You're welcome. See you later.